Namaskar and thank you, Swati and Ajay. On this final day, we come to an awareness that it's so beautiful when human beings come together. Consciousness is alocal. The kind of consciousness we carry impacts all whom we love, including planet Earth. And so today, in the final day, we put together all that we have learned to find ourselves. Like Socrates, Guruji always said, Yoga has to make us know thyself. And with Saint Augustine, we say, Noverim me ut noverim te. Lord, help us in this beautiful work that we are working on together, this journey inwards. As we come to know ourselves, may we come to know you. I am who am, so aham, tatvam asi. We'll do the triple Om, acknowledging God as the Alpha and the Omega. Then we acknowledge this beautiful wisdom of yoga that originated with Patanjali, culminating in Guruji BKS Iyengar, and all the great sages down the ages. We acknowledge them as we do the Patanjali invocation. Altogether, the Om first. Om. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaityakena yopa karottam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purusha akaram Shankhachakrasitharinam Sahasrashirsham Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hariyo. Bow our heads in Jalandhara Bandha to the God of our understanding, seeking God's grace and wisdom. Unless the Lord builds the house, in vain do the laborers labor to build it. And so we ask the Lord to lead us into this yoga sadhana, starting with the Bahiranga, acknowledging the Yama Niyamas, Ahimsa Satya Steya Brahmacharya Parigraha, and the niyamas, Shaucha Santosha Tapasa Svadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhana. And then we'll do the asanas restoratively designed by Guruji out of the same compassion that Mother Teresa had for the poorest of the poor. Guruji showed us that compassion for the poorest of the poor in health. No one can say, I cannot practice yoga. The restorative yoga brings us to the autonomic nervous system, that is the pranayama, which has a double effect. Pratyahara, complete a sense of a disposition of dispossession. And then the antaratmik sadhana, which is dharana, dhyana, centering, meditation, and a state of what Dr. Sinzen Nihalvi calls a state of a flow experience, temporary experience of samadhi. So let's lie on the floor first. We begin always with lying on the bolster and keeping the bolster resting rest your back, your diaphragm on the bolster. You have a choice of keeping your legs in a simple cross legs or keeping them in what is known as a cobbler pose, Baddha Konasana. And advanced students who have no problem with their knees can use the posture called Veerasana, Supta Veerasana. Keep the belt for the femur. And once you have adjusted your body, you lie back. And when you lie back, you continue to adjust your body. Remember, whichever way you are crossing your legs in what is called the happy pose, Sukhasana, simple cross legs, or you want to use the belt and do the cobbler pose, the Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart, or you want to do an advanced posture that I am doing in Supta Veerasana. This is the first so-called ritual to awaken the wisdom in the body. But what Dr. Walter Cannon talked about, there is a wisdom, Weisheit. That wisdom has to be explored. The means to do that is the niyamas, shaucha, cleansing ourselves, santosha, bringing about the nitric oxide effect, tapasa, not without the cross, without pain. If you want to be my disciple, said the Lord, deny yourself, take up the cross. Tapas is that, going through fire sometimes to be purified like gold. And once you get over that pain, that burning out of our lethargy, tamasikata, burning out of our ego, what they call in the 12-step program, the ego deflation. Once that takes place, we are totally available to God. And so we are able to talk to that spirit within us that brings us to what we call the third stage, Parichayavastha, exploring, getting to know. Parichaya is to get to know. That's what Swadhyaya is about, that we stretch our hands, and this is the breath that we are going to use in a variety of ways to bring about the double effect, getting away from a preoccupied world which is already knocked down. It's knocked down, but our minds are still there. Our cares, our worries, our anxieties are still there. In yoga, we disconnect. And the way to disconnect is get to listen to your breath. And the postures that we are doing just now create that natural ability to listen to the breath. That's the wisdom of Iyengar. You don't have to do anything. You position yourself in the posture and the resultant effect takes place. And for that, you need humility. You need to be like a little child, listening. Like the disposition of Samuel in the Old Testament. Speak, Lord. Your servant is listening. Or like Mary's disposition in the New Testament. Behold the handmaid of the Lord. Be it done to me according to thy word. Which is total fifth Niyama Ishvara Pranidhana. Relax your hands alongside the body. Play with your awareness, getting into the various parts of the body. The legs which are folded, solar plexus, as you're exhaling, keeping your diaphragm well supported for deep inhalations, and the head with a pillow-like, either pillow or a Iyengar brick, so that your head looks downwards into the heart. That completes 3 minutes. We come out of the posture. We extend our legs now and lie on the same bolster. When you lie on the same bolster, you have to adjust your body in 2 places. As you rest, you have to first adjust your pelvic rim. So you bend your knees, allow the sacrum to slide down, and then stretch your legs one by one again. Heels where they are, soles apart. So from the groin to the heels, your shin and femur are outward moving. Then you come to the other limbs, the hands. How do you open up the armpits? Push your deltoids, your shoulders downwards. And as you push them downwards, your arms move away. Triceps moving towards the floor, biceps opening up towards the ceiling, the armpits are clear. Then adjust your head. The head is very important for pranayama. If the head is upward going, you are still in the lockdown world. You are in the thinking world. You have to get out from there because it's locked down anyway. But our minds are so powerful that we keep our preoccupations. The greatest obstacle is the thinking mind. So what we do is we be gentle with that thinking mind, and we adjust the brain in such a way that the bunch of muscles between the eyebrows, which is called the Untitled Chapter, orients itself towards the heart. And thus, the stem of the brain, the cerebellum extends, the stem of the brain rests, helps the amygdala to trigger the necessary nitric oxide effect. Now we begin Shavasana. And in Shavasana, we are working on feeling the body resembling a corpse. Shava is a corpse. This is not going to be possible if our thinking minds are interfering. So Father Anthony de Mello is to say, get your thinking mind to come into this space and not to be too preoccupied. So use the thinking mind and say, now I am breathing in. Now I am breathing out. So from the beginning to the end, feel the breath. And as you are exhaling, feel the body completely submitting itself to the pull of gravity. So if I were to lift any limb, it would be like a dead weight. Both limbs as well as the body as a whole. This results in the breath becoming automatically, you don't have to do anything. Relaxation is the first essential component of healing. The great Howard physician has always said, the relaxation response overcomes the stress response. In that lockdown world, we were fighting and fleeing, which is a stress response. Now, in this inner world, we discover that we also have internally the same reaction types of behavior. And the breath will take that away. From being a reactive person, we become a person that can respond to the here and now. Shavasana is essential for pranayama. And so now we start pranayama. What is the basic pranayama? The three components of every breath. To be mindfully watched, not controlled, though the word is yama, pranayama, to control, but it is not. The locus of control is not the ego, not the self-will. That is Rajasic Yoga. The locus of control has to be the self. So as you're breathing in and as you're breathing out, for this next 3 minutes, whatever you have learned about Ujjayi Pranayama, practice it now. Even if you have to start from the very beginning and use your left brain and say to yourself, now I am breathing in, now I am breathing out. Be like a little child and watch that breath. Like the little boy, little child sitting at the bank of the river, watching the flow of the water with a sense of fascination. Every breath has Puraka, inhalation, Rechaka, exhalation. After the inhalation, slight pause, Antarkumbhaka. After the exhalation, more relaxed pause, Bhaya-kumbhaka. Make all these components of the breath one continuous, uninterrupted flow. That is Ujjayi. That completes the Ujjayi practice. Bend your knees, roll off the bolster, and choose to sit upright for Viloma Pranayam 2, exhalation retentions. So you may choose to sit upright, and it's good to sit upright to do this because this is it is a pranayam that helps us to understand that we must never obstruct our breathing. If you obstruct your breathing, you are too much of a thinking person. But a person that is very centered and calm, the breath tells the quality of that personality. And so to make that personality calm, we are introducing this particular pranayam. It's called Pratiloma because, it is called Viloma 2. Please don't get confused. There are two Vilomas. Viloma 1, Antar Kumbhaka, we're not doing that. We're doing Bahya Kumbhaka, that is exhalation retentions. So take a position to sit upright and normal breathing, and then we start this interrupted exhalations. Viloma Pranayam 2. Inhale, and as you're exhaling, hold the breath. Continue exhaling, hold the breath. Slightly inhale and fully exhale and hold the breath. Now that is the pattern. Normal breathing. Let your breath be stable, steady. Now, second time. Take a deep inhalation. Start exhaling, hold the breath, 3 to 4 counts. Continue exhaling, hold the breath. Slightly inhale and fully exhale and hold the breath. Normal breathing. In couple of normal breaths, you should be able to bring your breath to restedness. Once again, take a deep inhalation. As you're exhaling, hold the breath. Continue exhaling, hold the breath. Slightly inhale and fully exhale and hold the breath. And then normal breathing. Just a brief practice of this. Those who would have to work on their high blood pressure may be able to do this not only 3 times, 4 times, but even several times. Then you go into the cardiac restedness. So you have to work on your calf muscles resting either on a horizontal bolster or on a chair or on the sofa. People who have no chairs, but just a sofa, you can rest your calf muscles, keep the bolster on the shin, adjust your head. We have done Ujjayi Pranayam. We have done Viloma Pranayam 2, Bahya Kumbhaka. So now we are very familiar with being with the breath. It is the breath culture that we have lost in that lockdown world. The more we have lost that breath culture, the more we have gone away from ourselves. Living on the periphery instead of living in the center. So once again, we go into restedness.
that is bringing about a double effect. Slowing down of the breath and slowing down of the heartbeat. The calves are the second heart. And feel the restiveness of the calves, either on the cross bolster. If you don't have a chair or a sofa, use the bolster to rest your calves and celebrate. Every protocol for meditation is a celebration. And it's a celebration of the cells. So Iyengar Yoga for meditation is not only Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that is stop the chatter of the mind, but it is Snayu Vritti Nirodha, to bring about in the cells that sense of inner stability, stillness. And in this posture, let us recall the three elements of healing. If you trust this process like a little child, and you just let your body and your breath to be, it's a mind that brings about stress and control of the breath. Let go. Once you let go, you come into restiveness. And as you rest, in that deep sense of Ishvara Pranidhana, letting go. Don't hold on to anything. Just feel the body. The body is the temple of God. It never tells lies. If it is not relaxing, it is saying to you that all that you say about I surrender, yes, Lord, is hypocrisy. You have to make the body feel a state of complete restiveness. In that restiveness, you will begin to feel the original blessing. We have overemphasized the original sin and got locked up in all moralistic preoccupations. In yoga, we come to realize, in spirituality, we come to realize that we are loved. God is love. And as you're exhaling, get in touch with that original blessing. What Howard Bensons calls remembered wellness. What Mother Teresa with St. John talks about, that it is not our love for God, but God's love for us. Ezekiel saying, I have loved you with an everlasting love. As we bask in the sunshine of God's love, it's love that casts out fear. That brings in what the scientists today acknowledge, the faith factor. It all shall be well. And all manner of things shall be well. the mantra of Julian of Norwich. In all manner of things shall be well. Now we are ready for digital pranayama. Gently bring yourselves out of the posture and take a position to sit upright with your elbows resting on the backrest. If you're sitting in the chair, then you need. If you're not sitting in the chair, then you need something to keep your elbows rested. It's very important that you rest your elbows on the bolster, or you just relax in such a way that you keep your spine upright with an orientation of the brain downwards. And once you have settled, just check internally as you are breathing in, is there an action of the Mula Bandha, lifting up your sternum? As you're exhaling, is there an action of the Uddiyana Bandha, the lower abdominal muscles relaxing to maintain the upward lifting up of the sternum? After the inhalation, is there an awareness internally that your brain has to be oriented towards the heart? Then place your fingers and adjust the head accordingly. Start breathing in and out from both the nostrils. Ujjayi Pranayama. Once you have adjusted your fingers and you're doing Ujjayi Pranayama, we go into the first digital pranayama, which is Anuloma Pranayama. Single nostril exhalation, both nostrils inhalation. Try it without any too much of effort. You have to keep the component of Shavasana, the component of relaxation in all that we do. Otherwise, we get into, again, the stress syndrome. Relaxedly feel the incoming and outgoing breath, and now we do the Anuloma Pranayama, both nostrils inhalation, single nostril exhalation, starting with the dominant, that's the right, for those who are right-handed, then the non-dominant, the left, for those who are. You must adjust according to your dominant side. Don't be violent. And if you're left-handed, don't try to be right-handed. Just keep to the natural giftedness that God has given us. Single nostril exhalation, both nostrils inhalation.
After exhaling from the right or the dominant side nostril, drop your hands. Adjust the body again. See that your spine is alert. See that your brain is oriented towards the heart. Pratiloma pranayama. Rest your fingertips, thumb on the dominant side, ring finger on the non-dominant side. Exhale from both the nostrils. Inhale from a single nostril. Pratiloma pranayama. After inhaling from the right or the dominant, drop your hands. Very subtly observe whether your spine is well lifted up with the help of the inhalative Mula Bandha, whether your sternum is maintained upright with an exhalative Uddiyana Bandha, whether you're fully coming into the here and now and not getting into the thinking world by lifting up your forehead or your Ajna Chakra away from the heart, but rather internally and even externally slightly orienting your brain towards the heart. That's the disposition of meditation. Now we combine single nostril cyclic breathing. Rest your fingers on the nostrils. Inhale from both the nostrils. Do it according to your own rhythm and capacity. Exhale from the right or the dominant. And then begin the cycle. Inhale from the right or the dominant. Exhale from the left or the non-dominant. Re-inhale from the left or the non-dominant. And exhale from the right or the dominant. Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, single nostril, cyclic breathing. After exhaling from the right of the dominant, drop your hands. The purpose of Iyengar Yoga, used for dhyana, for meditation, is always bringing about a hypometabolic conditioning. Many people get lost in an exercise yoga syndrome. Nothing wrong. You get a release of endorphins. But we are here in this protocol, in this meditation. All that we want to feel is the joy of living, to put it in simple words of Mother Teresa. And that is nitric oxide. And thanks to the Swedish scientists affirming that Brahmari brings this about 19-fold more than an average breath. So let's start Brahmari now. Normal inhalation, exhalation, and as you're inhaling, hum. Now open your eyes and let's do the Sanmuki Mudra, keeping your elbows lifted up to the level of your shoulders. Then keep your index finger and middle finger, enabling the eyelid to remain closed. The ring finger resting gently that area of the nostrils which we are using for digital pranayama. Resting your little finger on the upper lip or the cheek. Pressurizing the projection there, the trajai, the little projection with your thumb. Now we are set for Sanmuki Mudra, Brahmari Pranayama. Drop your hands after the last Brahmari exhalation. Get yourselves into Shavasana with your calves rested on the sofa or on the cross bolster. We do Dharana Dhyana in this rested posture where we recall the restedness required for meditation, the freedom in the breath brought about after pranayama. And then we introduce the word to keep us centered, dharana, taking us into dhyana, meditation. Position yourself in such a manner that you can feel without making any effort on your part. The body, the breath, the brain, everything is now thirsting for our original blessing, love. Celebrate. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, open our hearts to the silent presence of your Spirit. Lead us into that mysterious silence where your love is revealed to all who call. Hari Om, Maranatha, Shalom, Allah. Stay in Shavasana. We recall the words of Saint Augustine. Late have I loved you, O beauty, so ancient and so new. For behold, you are within me, and I outside. You were within me, and I was not with you. But you broke open my deafness. You chased away my blindness. You breathed fragrance upon me. I drew in my breath and do now pant for you. I tasted you, and now I hunger and thirst for you. You touched me, and I burn for your peace. When we are touched by God, Mother Teresa taught us that you reach out. Greater love than this no one hath, that one lays down one's life for our loved ones. Quoting Matthew 25, she always said, as long as you did it, the Lord saying to her, as long as you did it to the least of my brothers and sisters, you did it to me. The same that Sri Krishna told Arjuna, Yoma pashyati sarvatra sarvancha mayi pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachameva na pranashyati. He who sees me in every creature finds me reflected in everyone. Such a person I never reject, nor does such a person abandon me. And now do a chant that was composed by the great social reformist Vinoba Bhave, putting together all the names of God, called the Litany of the Names of God, Namavali. Om Tat Sat Shri Narayana Tu Purushottama Guru Tu Siddha Buddha Tu Skanda Vinayaka Savita Pavaka Tu Brahma Majda Tu Yehovah Shakti Tu Yesu Pita Prabhu Tu Rudra Vishnu Tu Rama Krishna Tu Rahimata Hotu Vasudeva Tu Vishwarupa Tu Chidananda Haritu Akala Nirbhaya Atmalinga Shivatu Om Tat Sat Shri Narayana Tu Purushottama Guru Tu Siddha Buddha Tu Skanda Vinayaka Savita Pavaka Tu Savita Pavaka Tu. Namaskar. God bless all of us we form one family in the Lord. Thank you, Swati and Ajay. May we continue practicing this every day of our life. God bless.
Thank you, Father. I think we are really blessed, at least my family, from the last 34 years that you have been giving this selfless service. It's only love that you give every time that you speak to us and do this exercise. Brings us closer to the Lord. I can tell you this in my personal experience. Whenever you are there, there's a special proximity to the Lord, and what better gift can anybody get other than this? So thank you. We are so grateful, and there's no way that we can ever give back to you what you have given to us. So thank you.